What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Shark Week extravaganza here on the channel. And to celebrate Shark Week, we're going to be counting down the top 10 sharks in gaming. And before we get into this list, I want you guys to know that this list is, of course, my opinion, but I would love to know your guys' favorite sharks in gaming down in the comments down below. Please leave them in the comments, be sure to like the video, and be sure to subscribe, the notification bell on. But without further ado, let's get in to the top 10 sharks in gaming. Number 10, Sharknado. Sharknado, the video game. Now, Sharknado, the video game, is an endless runner on iOS and Android, akin to something like Temple Run or Subway Surfer, if you guys know what that is. The exception, of course, is there's a ton of sharks blocking your way. Now, many different kinds of sharks can get flung towards you during your run, and your job, of course, is to avoid them the best you can. Now, just the word Sharknado alone gets this group of sharks a spot on this list, even though it's part of a mediocre mobile game, and they make the list because of that, but just barely. Number 9, Snacker the Shark, Banjo-Kazooie. Snacker the Shark is a vicious shark that is a constant threat in the water of Treasure Trove Cove and Rusty Bucket Bay in Banjo-Kazooie. Snacker will randomly appear and chase down the dynamic duo while a specific music track plays, and of course this track is very reminiscent of the Jaws theme, but defeating Snacker will yield just 3 honeycombs, but will only make the water safe for swimming for a short amount of time, so be sure to watch out for the return of Snacker the Shark. Number 8, Tiny, Batman Arkham City. Tiny is a great white behemoth that Penguin keeps as a pet in Batman Arkham City. Located in Penguin's torture chamber, Tiny is said to eat anything that enters his tank. While hunting inside the chamber for Mr. Freeze, Batman finds 3 undercover cops that were left for dead on top of Tiny's tank that's been frozen over by Mr. Freeze. After rescuing the cops and Mr. Freeze, the Dark Knight has a close encounter with the Great White, where Batman beats the shark down and Tiny is never seen again for the remainder of the game, and only makes a very small appearance in Batman Arkham Knight. Number 7, Megalodon, Battlefield 1. The Megalodon, or just sharks in general, have been a pretty consistent Easter egg of sorts in the Battlefield series, but I specifically went with the Battlefield 1 version of this prehistoric badass because of just how committed you need to be to find this big boy. I won't explain it all here, but it involves finding a record and gramophone on a specific map, and listening to that record on the gramophone then gives you a key to decode a bunch of different ciphers. The ciphers then tell you to turn water valves on a different map and get melee kills in a puddle to act as a sacrifice. Then you need to wait for a bit, and then the beast awakens and you can finally see the Meg in action. Number 6, Nash, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel. Nash is a cybernetically enhanced shark who also happens to be a kart racing champion. Nash is the racing champion of Baron in Crash Nitro Kart, and he has made a triumphant return in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel. Now, Nash is an unlockable character via the pit stop, and is an acceleration-classed character, which means he has the highest acceleration potential in the game, and because of that, Nash should be an inspiration to sharks everywhere. Number 5, Cyber Shark, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. The Cyber Shark is the Blood Dragon expansion's equivalent to the regular sharks in the base version of Far Cry 3. These sharks are badass though, and they're not to be taken lightly. They have glowing eyes, glowing teeth, and a thick metal skin. The Cyber Sharks are always lurking in the water in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and because of their metal skin, they can only be killed by explosives, so get that RPG ready. Number 4, Game Shark, Cheat Device. Game Shark is a varied line of gaming peripherals that unlocks a ton of varied cheats across multiple games and consoles. Many of the products also saved the codes in flash storage, meaning the codes would stay saved in the game instead of needing to reactivate the codes every single time you played that specific game. The Game Shark line of products covered many consoles and handhelds in the late 90s and early 2000s, and is arguably the friendliest shark on this list. Number 3, Sub Spyro, Year of the Dragon. Controlled by the nefarious Rhinoc Bluto, This shark sub is a mini boss fight in Seashell Shores in Spyro Year of the Dragon. Spyro rides a small powerboat with a cannon attached and must avoid dangerous torpedoes and forceful chomps from this shark sub of doom. Winning the fight grants you a dragon egg and, more importantly, incredible bragging rights. Number 2. Neptune, Resident Evil. Neptune is a subspecies of great white shark that's been infected and engineered as a bioweapon by the Umbrella Corporation in the original Resident Evil. Umbrella Corps were initially disappointed with the results of this experiment, but Neptune was inadvertently released by a scientist gone mad, flooding the Aqua Ring. I mean, this shark is literally a zombie shark named after the king of the seas. It doesn't get much scarier than that. Number 1, Jaws. Jaws Unleashed. A first for this list, and the reason that it is number 1, you play as the shark in Jaws Unleashed. This open-world action game allows you to become the beast of the beach, where you are tasked with attacking and eating both other sea creatures as well as humans. You can fulfill all of your Shark Week fantasies as you grind to upgrade your shark and make it the most badass great white in the world. And you can experience Shark Week from the shark's perspective in Jaws Unleashed. And that being said, guys, like I said, this list has been my opinion, and thank you for celebrating Shark Week with me here on the channel. And of course, like I said, please let me know your favorite video game sharks down in the comments below, because I'm sure I've missed a few. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Shark Week extravaganza here on the channel. And like I said, be sure to smash that like button, be sure to subscribe, have a phenomenal day. And guys, Phenom